Hey, I'm here at the Frankfurt show with our new BG combo, which is the two new additions to our bass range. So the 115 and the 210 speaker configuration. So basically the same amp, 500 watt RMS bass amp or bass head, and two different speaker configurations. Speakers are the 115 and a tweeter, 210 and a tweeter, all from Eminence, so very high quality drivers. But if you have a closer look at the amp, that's where you'll see some of the new stuff and some of the stuff that you probably won't find on most other bass amps. In fact, we've added most of the features from the RS450 that you might be familiar with. So taking a closer look at the front panel, of course we have an input section, then we have Spectrocomp, which was originally developed for RS450. This is a 3-band compressor that allows us to compress lows, mids and highs completely independently. So basically giving you a much more transparent and musical compression that gives you the snappiness of the sound that you want in a bass compressor without killing your dynamics completely. So very, very nice compressor. Then we have standard tone controls, bass, low, mid, high, mid, treble. Pretty straightforward stuff. But as an addition to the 4 tone controls, we also have 2 contours, which are basically pre-EQs, you could say, predefined EQs. So there's a contour 1, there's a contour 2, and then if I push it a third time, it'll turn off again. So basically a pre-EQ that we predefined, so give you a really good and really fast starting point, and then you can use the tone controls for adding whatever you like on top of that. Moving on to the next knob right here, we have a tweeter tone, which is a completely new knob, which you probably haven't seen on any other bass amp before. Tweeter tone is basically the level of the tweeter that you typically find on the backside of most other bass amps. What we found is that we thought that it would be more useful if you actually put it up on the front panel where you could grab it rather than having to, reach the backside of your amplifier. Also, tweeter tone has a little bit of filtering built in, so it's a much more intelligent and much smoother way of setting up the HF level of your cabinet. So basically, it defines the crossover point and the level of the tweeter at the same time. So tweeter tone goes all the ways from round, really vintage, very little HF kind of sound over here. The default in the 0 position that we kind of recommend, or if you want to go completely hi-fi and very high-tech kind of sound, just open up the tweeter tone entirely. Final knob right here on the tone control section is tube tone. Tube tone is a very advanced version of or replication of a tube amp. What we found is that just putting a single tube or 2 tubes in the preamp simply doesn't give you anything that's remotely close to a real tube amp. So what we've done with tube tone is to do a preamp section that has all the overdrive and everything that you would expect from the preamp with tubes, but also the power amp section replicated from a tube amp. So full-on tube simulation, tube amp simulation in one knob, just one from 1 to 0 or 1 to 10, that is, going basically from just a little bit of a grind and all the way up to full-on overdrive or distortion. Of course, a master level that controls the 500 watts in the amp. And then up here, finally, we have a built-in bass tuner. Hit the tuner button or the mute button and you can tune up in silence without disturbing anybody. And over here on the right-hand side, we have 3 user memories, which is a very, very nice feature that allows you to dial up any kind of sound that you want, press and hold, and you've stored the sound that you made. So now you can go on, make a different sound, store that, go back by a simple click on the button. You can switch your entire sound on your bass amp. So very, very handy for playing different styles, different finger styles, different basses maybe even. So all in all, a fantastic feature set in the BG500. For those of you who are familiar with the RS450, you'll recognize quite a few of these things. For the guys that are not, definitely go check this out more in detail on the website. Very, very impressive new combos that we're very proud to present here at the Frankfurt show.